See ya did it.
Welcome back to 94 Feet, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, this time I think we're good when it comes to technical issues. So as long as Danny's able to stay in, I think we'll be good. But like I said, welcome back. We were a little bit later on today, but we're still doing
Hey, I'm
good.
knocking on wood right now, kid. I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully, it's cool. Wi-Fi is a little choppy right now, but I hope you can hear me. I hope I make it through the entire live stream. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I was gonna say you kind of broke up there a little bit, but I know what you were saying, so that's all that matters. But yeah, we got ourselves an interesting show today. Of course, I mean we've got some more serious topics to talk about, especially with the Kyrie Irving ordeal and whatnot, what's going on there, especially with this fallout with Nike. We've got some good talk about Draymond Green. I mean, we got a question we got to ask ourselves: is he actually a star in the NBA? Danny and I both have kind of thrown our shade towards him, but we'll have to talk about that. Of course, we got fit of the week. What is 94 feet without fit of the week? So we're going to have to talk about that and how I got an early 2-0 lead on this season. And then on top of that as well, we'll talk some fall fashion, some keeper sweep when it comes to that. So started off Kyrie Irving talk. I mean, I easy the place to start off is obviously, I mean, it sucks to see it in society still, but still, this is a place of no hate. This is a place where we still, I mean, obviously, as much as we'd love to see no hate, it's still something that we see on a consistent basis. And I mean, shoot, I mean, we're a small little show, you know what I mean? We don't got much to be able to really, get our name out and whatnot. We don't have much of a message we could really get out to a lot of people. But at the same time, I mean, it's very clear what Kyrie Irving did was wrong. And obviously, it sucks to see that. There are people in the league, and I mean, it probably goes for other leagues too. But there are people in the league that have those views and whatnot and aren't willing to back off. It's a weird dynamic, but at the end of the day,
Hey, wait, where are you going? Wait, Kate, where are you going with this? Where are you
I'm
going with
trying
this?
to
Because
say,
from what I understand, I get what you're saying, but from what I understand is Kyrie just posted it on his Instagram story without knowing like really the backstory. Like he did the research behind it.
yeah, but I mean, here's the thing though, is that like you're right. Okay, you post that on your story, you don't know the backstory behind it, like you don't do your research and whatnot. But right when you
He
get that,
apologized.
what?
He apologized though. It's I think Kyrie's getting kind of thrown under the bus. Unless I got my facts wrong.
Honestly, I feel
Like
like
I know what he did was wrong with the whole. He didn't research it. He he didn't research what he posted on his Instagram story. The whole book about our Jews. Something with the heritage of the Hebrew Jews, something like that. And he just posted it without knowing the backstory. The anti-Semitism that's shown in that video. And as soon as he gets suspended, he issues the apology right away. And Joe Tsai, all he says is it's a step in the right direction. So I feel like Kyrie, he did what he had to do, and he's kind of getting screwed over. Or Joe, that's wrong.
I was gonna say, I mean, I haven't heard. All I heard is that pretty much what he posted and whatnot. And I'll be honest with you, like I didn't hear about the apology or anything like that. I could be wrong about that. Like I said, he may have apologized. I didn't hear about that. But you'd think that maybe it's just the personality that Kyrie Irving has, where people are already throwing him under the bus, thinking like, okay, he already has all these out there ideas and whatnot. So just the idea that him posting something like that, it doesn't really surprise the public, but at the same time, it also was something that you'd feel like Kyrie Irving would almost it feels like Kyrie Irving doesn't apologize. So it's like I feel like maybe that's part of the dynamic of it. But again, at the same time, though, I mean, seeing some of the punishments that, or I don't want to say punishments, but the things that the Nets are requiring Kyrie Irving to do to come back to the team. I don't know. It doesn't seem that it doesn't seem that the league or the Nets in particular really believe that was a true apology from Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that because it did get leaked that Kyrie Irving for weeks has been ghosting the owner, July, and then this comes out, and I just feel like that gets leaked, and then he gets suspended, and the owner a to-do list that he has to do. I don't know if you saw this. The owner said, Josiah says, if you want to play basketball again with the Brooklyn Nets, you have to issue an apology for posting a link, condemn the harmful false content, and make it clear that he does anti-Jewish beliefs, which he did already. Complete the anti-hate training, complete sensitivity training created by the Nets, create anti-Semitic / anti-hate training designed by the Nets, meet with representatives from the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish community leaders in Brooklyn, after completing steps 1-5, meet with Josiah personally and lead franchise officials and demonstrate the lessons learned and all these to-do lists. And he already apologized.
See, that's
I do think Kyrie Irving blows up teams, and I don't like I don't really. I'm not like saying Kyrie Irving. I'm like the biggest Kyrie hater, but on this issue, I feel like the owner is kind of beefing with him, and it looks a little immature.
oh, 100%. And I mean, like, I think the weird thing about it is that, like, I mean, you see this post that comes out from Shams about the whole, like, pretty much what the Nets are asking for in this situation. You look at what they're saying, that whole list and whatnot, and that came out a day ago, uh, saying that he must apologize and condemn the movie. But this whole saga happened, like, I mean, at least a week ago at this point. So you're talking about a week-long period where he had posted this movie, posted this documentary, whatever it was, and then hadn't said anything about it for a week. So it's like, again, like I said, I don't know if that's Kyrie. I don't believe, at least I want to believe that Kyrie Irving doesn't really like believe and like follow that and whatnot. But at the same time, I mean, from how it sounded, he posted this link and he went before he didn't apologize for anything until he felt the need to apologize, which was when he was punished for what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's like you could also say, well, why was it even on Amazon in the first place? How come Kyrie is having all these repercussions? Just Bezos isn't, canceled in, cancel culture like Kyrie. Obviously, Kyrie is already kind of canceled. He's already kind of burned bridge. So this is an easy target. But I just think that, if we're going to have all this blowback on Kyrie for this issue, at least, keep that same energy. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
Sense?
I feel like you're not wrong. I definitely agree. Like, I mean, realistically, look at the platform that this is on. Like, why is this on Amazon? Why is something like this on Amazon? And I feel like, I'll be honest with you, I have no, like, I guess from like news reports, I understand what this documentary was about, but at the same time, I don't really know what in depth this documentary was about. So it's like you make a good point. Like, why is this on Amazon? Even though Kyrie's posting it, why is it on Amazon if it's posting anti-Semitic views and whatnot? Which is like, I don't know. It's tricky because it's like it's hard for me to have a like full, complete opinion about this entire situation when I don't really know even the specifics of what was in that documentary, other than the fact that it was anti-Semitic views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. It's like this is kind of a touchy issue, but like we're still informed. We didn't watch the documentary. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but that's true too.
The other thing is, there so many things are coming out. Like it's honestly tough to keep up with what's going down in this story, just because, like you said, this originally happened a week ago, and then just a day ago, the Nets issued this to-do list. And I know Kanye got to the mix, AB to the mix. Like, I don't know, just a lot is happening.
Because that's the thing too, is that, I mean, I feel like you look at like a lot of like documentaries and whatnot on like really any platform, and they can have messages that are like, they could have these messages that like, or I guess not, they don't have these messages, but they can reflect messages of like, I feel like the most like, I mean, I'm trying to be like obviously careful. Like, I'm not trying to say anything bad here, but like, obviously, I feel like documentaries, I mean, there are some documentaries where they obviously emphasize messages. Usually in the past, and like different things that have happened in history, they emphasize messages that like put an emphasis on hate. You know what I mean? So it's like, is this a documentary that like is informing? Dude, it's such a difficult thing to say. Like, what is this documentary exactly getting into, and why is Kyrie Irving really feeling this downfall, especially again if it's on a place like Amazon? You know what I mean? Like, because you bring up a good point here. Like, why is this on Amazon if it's already if it already has bad views?
Yeah, exactly. Someone hopped in the chat and said, according to Sportsnet, it was Holocaust denials and conspiracy theories. So this is some pretty serious stuff that is just chilling on Amazon. That they're making a profit off this as well.
Yeah. Okay. So if that is okay, so going off the comments and saying that it was stuff about Holocaust denials and conspiracy theories, in that case, you got to question. I mean, is because like here's the thing though, is like when it comes to conspiracy theories, and I don't want to get too in depth about this, but when it comes to conspiracy theories and whatnot, I feel like the whole idea of that is that like you don't like it's with any conspiracy theory, it can be fun to listen to, it can be interesting to listen to and whatnot, but in a situation like this where it's again such a sensitive topic, and then on top of that as well, not only understanding the messaging that is coming out in this documentary, but the messaging that Kyrie Irving is trying to send out by posting about this documentary. Like that's where it gets really tricky because it's like obviously, I mean, like again, it's like it's a very interesting situation because I feel like if you saw a documentary like that, when I feel, especially in like today's age where everybody's big on conspiracy theories and whatnot, everybody's big on trying to get to the bottom of something when there's maybe a clear cut, like obvious answer, but they don't want to take that clear cut, obvious answer because they want to have the entertainment factor of seeing something in a different perspective. So it's like, I feel like in a society like today where everybody's following these conspiracy theories, everybody's following this and that, like, you see a documentary like this on Amazon, and then this is why I think maybe this isn't taken off Amazon, is because Amazon isn't necessarily saying yes, this is what's true, but they're putting this out there like these are the opinions and views of other people, which it's not. Like I said, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's real. But at the same time, I feel like everybody has to get their opinion out and whatnot, and if they don't get their opinion out, they feel like their freedom of speech is getting suppressed. So I can understand now if this is true, why it's on Amazon possibly. But at the same time, now you got to question what is the messaging behind Kyrie Irving posting something about this? And then with that being said, we now have these set of what's the word? A set of punishments for him. Not really punishments, but more like things he has to do to be back on the team. And then because Kyrie Irving's going to say something about this at some point. So the question is, what's going to happen? Like, what is he going to say about this to either help himself in the situation or make the situation worse for himself?
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Taking like a step back from all that stuff, like just going back to like a basketball level, we kind of touched on this last show, okay, but I kind of want to bring it again. I think KD is sitting back, chilling, just hooping. Like this dude is balling out right now on a Nets team that's not winning games, 4-6 right now. He's just hooping. He's averaging 30 points per game. He already has a 37-piece, 37 pieces, a 35-point game. The coach is fired, and I think he's sitting back saying, "Man, I recruited Kyrie with me. Like, what was I thinking? Kyrie, I know I kind of just defended him, but this is what you're gonna get with Kyrie, right? Okay, we've seen this before."
Exactly. We've seen. I mean, ever since he left Cleveland because he wanted to be the leader of his own team. This is what we've seen out of Kyrie Irving. Just a lot of really interesting, dynamic, different.
He wanted to leave LeBron James after coming back from a 3-1 lead. Like you said, wanted to leave LeBron James, lead a young team of Boston Celtics, super young stars. They were producing as soon as they got into the league, Tatum and Brown. And you remember that. They traded Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie. But he gets Brad Stevens fired. This is Brad Stevens, the coach who was making the Eastern Conference Finals with Isaiah Thomas. I'm as tall as Isaiah Thomas. And
then you're taller than Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, I am. It was Isaiah Thomas 5'8".
Isn't he like 5'8"? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Isaiah Thomas was averaging like 30 points. Yeah, he had a crazy run with Brad Stevens. Anyways, Kyrie gets him fired. It's like this dude, just whatever he touches, it just blows up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just weird because it's not really a surprise. This entire story isn't even a surprise at this point because it's Kyrie Irving. But at the same time, it's tough to see. I mean, it's obviously just something that it's weird because it's like also the way that just the way Kyrie Irving is in the sense that he doesn't want anybody to really know what he's talking about, but at the same time, he still wants to talk to them. Like he's a very cryptic, you have to encode Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? You have to try breaking him down to like really understand what he's trying to say, which is why I think whatever he says from this point on isn't going to help him at all. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, it's overall just a really strange situation with Kyrie's personality and whatnot. I am really interested to see how that plays out. Now, real quick before,
I honestly, I can't wait to see what he's going to do or say next. Like, what's going to happen?
Dude, I don't Here's the thing though, is that like you're right, like it's going to be very interesting what he says next, but I almost want to wait until like I'd rather wait that out because I'm scared about what he might say in this situation. But I mean, with
Yeah,
that
that's
being
true.
said, we know his personality, we know the way he is. I mean, from what I'm seeing, I haven't seen an official. I could be wrong. I haven't seen an official apology yet. I'll again look real quick, but seeing the dynamics that the Nets have laid out on what he needs to do to come back, like where do you think Kyrie Irving goes from this point on?
So I was under the impression he did apologize to
Yeah,
the
but see, that's the issue though. This has been going on for a week
he
and he
didn't.
hasn't apologized.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. This story, there's too much to keep up with, Kate. I'm getting lost in the sauce right now. Maybe can you follow?
I was gonna say, and I feel like, well, I mean, I think a big part of this too is just that it's a very similar. I mean, I feel like it's a very similar situation that this show is like the trajectory of the show has been on this entire episode, considering that like there's so much to get into with this, but there's also so little that anybody really understands. So like, where do you go with this? You know what I mean? Because Kyrie hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, at most you've seen things out of the media about what the Nets have said, but the Nets aren't getting anything out of Kyrie. So it's like we have no clue what he's thinking about when he posted something like this. You saw what happened at the Nets game a few days back, where you had a bunch of people sitting courtside that said "Stop anti-Semitism." Like, there's so much
Okay.
that has happened in
So
this.
okay, he did issue an apology on Instagram. He said, "To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by my posts, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize." So he apologized.
That sounds like such a bad apology from Kyrie Irving. That like that is like he doesn't. Is that way? Is that on his Instagram?
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna say because yeah, that's genuinely
according to
sounds
ESPN.
like. Wait, what?
According to ESPN, that's where I'm in the article right now.
Okay, so according to ESPN, I was gonna say because
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like. I mean, that genuinely sounds like such a terrible. Okay, so I
Yeah.
guess no. Let me. Okay, so it is a little bit more than that. He like if you go to his Instagram, it is a few paragraphs saying yeah, here
Okay,
we
so
go.
he did get into it.
Yeah, so I'll read the just a little bit of it. Um, he says, while doing research on YHWH, I posted a documentary that contained some false anti-Semitic statements, narratives, and language that were untrue and offensive to the Jewish race, religion, and I take full accountability and responsibility for my actions. I'm grateful to have a big platform to share knowledge, and I want to move forward by having an open dialogue to learn more and grow from this. To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I'm deeply sorry to have caused your pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion and being unjustly labeled anti Semitic instead of focusing on that healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made by this documentary. I want to clarify any confusion on where I stand fighting against anti Semitic or against anti Semitism by apologizing for posting the documentary without context and a factual explanation outlining the specific beliefs in the documentary I agreed with and disagreed with. I had no intentions to disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the Holocaust or perpetuate any hate. I am learning from this unfortunate event, but hope we can find understanding between us all. I am no different than any other human being. I am a seeker of truth and knowledge. I know, and I know who I am. So, okay, I mean that seems like a pretty in-depth apology. So this okay, then we can make the argument here. This is the interesting part, considering that he'd apologized, which is very uncharacteristic of Kyrie Irving to do. It's going to be interesting. Is this a moment of
Exactly. He
change for
knew it
Kyrie
was
Irving?
wrong.
Wait, say that
No,
again?
it's too late. The damage has been done. He's already blown. The damage has been done. Brooklyn is already blown up. Like Brooklyn is not recovering. Steve Nash is already gone. Like, yeah, maybe you turn a leaf over for Kyrie. He did apologize. I could tell you like that apology, Kate, but I think it's too late.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, and here's the thing. This was 3 days ago too, so I think this is like realistically, this apology came out after all the fallout. So I don't think he would have apologized if it wasn't for the fact that he felt all this fallout, which is again like, and I only say that because it's Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Yeah.
anybody would have hopped on that really quick, but for him, I mean, that was just. It really did seem that he did it because of that fallout. And then Bearded Horsey said, "Do we think he wrote this asking for a friend?" I say yes. I think he actually wrote this, but the only issue is I just feel like again, it's the fallout that made this come out. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily him. True, like not saying that he doesn't feel sorry. I just feel like he wouldn't have felt as sorry if it wasn't for the fact that you had obviously the Nets suspending him, Nike pulling their contract from them, all the like retaliation after that. You know what I mean?
I got a feeling like that he wrote this. I've been watching a little bit of Kyrie Irving on YouTube. He is kind of a nice talker, so I don't know. I feel like he wrote this one out. He's all, he likes to act all intellectual and stuff. So, I feel like on this one, on this type of issue, he would write this one out for sure. But
Exactly.
hey, Kate, let me know when you're tired of talking all this serious stuff. I'm ready to get into hoop talk.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say we're good there. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, we'll have to see how this all falls out. I feel like real quick. Let's see this. Are we gonna see Kyrie back on the basketball court before the end of the season?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think so. Yeah, I think he
Okay.
will eventually do all this stuff, and eventually he has to play basketball, right?
I mean, I don't know if he has to. I think he's got the money to step aside from the game, but we'll see how all plays out. Especially, I don't know. I feel like last comment I'm going to make about the specifics of this, but I feel like it's interesting to see the dynamic here with Kyrie Irving, considering that we have also seen other players in the league as of recently, uh, seeming what seems like unknowingly making remarks or making messages that surround anti-Semitic views, and it's interesting to see how this is all going to play out. Let's just put it that way, because again, like I said, we especially know in the NBA, and the NBA in general. Like I feel like out of all the leagues, they truly feel the belief and really get behind the idea that there's no room for hate in this society, in this world. Let's just keep to the basics of it. So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, okay. So yeah, that was that whole talk. We spent a good chunk of time on that one. Do you want to talk about Nike and Kyrie Irving, or do you want to just go straight to Draymond Green?
Let's get into Draymond.
Okay.
I've been waiting on some stuff. I'm sure we both got a rant about Draymond.
Oh, 100%. All right. So I'm going to pull up the quote exactly, but I sent this to you a few days ago. I thought this was something that we had to talk about on the show because realistically, I kind of believe the quote came from Zach Lowe. So I kind of believe what he had to say. So Zach Lowe said, "Was Draymond Green ever really a star on his own right, or was he a beneficiary of playing alongside the two greatest shooters of all time?" Danny, what's your take on that?
Cade, I get Draymond Green is the glue of this organization, of the Splash Bros. That era 72 and 9. What 4 the Splash Bros got what four rings now at this point. Draymond Green will be in the Hall of Fame. Right? I think he is good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. He was that important for that defensively. Just kind of bringing his energy every night. I could bring up how many all defensive teams he has, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame based on that. Everyone does get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. But to call him a star, he was never a star in this league. I think the best way to put him is to call him like a glorified, overachieving role player. Remember, Draymond Green, back in the day, out of Michigan State, Kate, I believe second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Second-round pick out of Michigan State. He wasn't one of these lottery guys. Undersized overachiever who brought championships to a team, but at the same time he did get exposed, so he's not a star. I can get into why later, but what's your reaction to that glorified role player? I think that's the best way to put it.
Let's say I agree with you here. I feel like Draymond Green has made his presence known based off his personality and his defense. Those are the two things that have made him the guy who he is today and the player he is today. You know what I mean? I feel like when you look back at his past years, I mean, again, you look at his defensive stats and whatnot, but then you also look at just the way that he plays on the court, his personality on the court. You know what I mean? He's always going to be a talker. He's always going to be somebody trying to get in your head. He's always got to have something to say to you, no matter if you're the nicest player on the court or if you're the guy talking right back to him. So the fact that those are the two things that he has really structured his career off of, and then on top of that, the fact that realistically, you look at his stats, other than defensive stats, he really hasn't done anything of significance for that Golden State team. I mean, it is realistically Draymond. It is. I mean, you talk about those big three and Draymond, Clay, and Steph, but Steph was putting up points. Clay was putting up points. You look at all those playoff runs. You look at all those finals runs. You look at realistically the way that team has been around for the past few years. Draymond realistically hasn't had much to do for really any of that success. You know what I mean?
Oh no, 100%. You touched it perfectly. His personality. His personality is also what cost him. I'm going back all the way to 2015, I think. Whenever the Warriors team, that 72-9, 73-9 Warriors team choked their brains out and blew that 3-1 lead. That was after in Game 4, Draymond Green is capped out on the flagrant fouls, and LeBron and Draymond get into a tussle on the floor. I don't know if you remember this, Kate. And LeBron steps over and Draymond kicks him in the groin, ends up getting suspended Game 5, completely alters the series. And then something that a friend of the show, Dom Contini, is still saying. I don't know if you remember this in the studio. He was saying, "Hey, remember Draymond? He had that 35-point game in the finals. He's talking about Game 7, I believe. And going back, that was years ago, Kate. Since then, Draymond has not done anything. They blew the 3-1 lead with him when he had a chance to step up. Going back, KD leaves Golden State because of Draymond. Remember they got into that altercation?
That's right.
And Draymond says, "Hey, we won without you. We don't need you," something like that. And then the next year, the next offseason, KD's a free agent and then leaves to Brooklyn. That was because Draymond Green said that to him, I believe. I don't know if KD will ever say that publicly, but KD and Draymond are still publicly beefing on Twitter. And then just in this past offseason, KD, he sucker punched Jordan Poole. This dude's not a star. I can't call him a superstar when he's had chances to prove himself. Okay, when was the last time? I've asked you this question before. When was the last time Draymond Green had a 20-point game?
Well, did we figure out? It was 2018 was the last time?
December 25th, 2019.
Okay, so yeah, that's so Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. That was the last Christmas that he didn't get Cole on. The last 20-point game. If you just look at the stats, it's like this dude, he means so much. He's a Hall of Famer. But not have a 20-point game. Remember when Clay got hurt? Steph Curry was carrying that on his back to an 8 seed. I think he was leading the league in points in 2021. And I remember they got knocked out by the Lakers, I think, in the playing game, but they were the 8 seed. That was a long time ago. I didn't have a beard. I didn't have facial hair at that time, dude.
That is funny. Yeah, that was the plan. So that was 2021. I think that's when that happened. But yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of it comes down to his personality. I mean, there's no better way to put it, his antics. You know what I mean? Considering that he's known for his personality. Yeah, no, 100%. It's worked. I mean, I don't think there's a better player in the league who's going to get in your head. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody talks the way that Draymond Green talks. He's going to be the best at talking. He's going to get in your head. He's going to make sure you hear what he has to say. He's also going to be that one guy, the highest hustling player on the floor. Like, give it your all energy. He's diving on the floor for everything, and he's a big dude. Exactly. So I mean, you got to respect his game. He's still one of the better players in this league. I was going to say top players. He's still one of the better players in this league, and even then, I mean, historically, you can even look at it and say that he might be one of the best defensive players in NBA history. Obviously, he's up there for sure. But at the same time, you're talking about in an NBA where offense is so important and defense might help, but at the same time, is it going to be the difference maker? Draymond Green's role it's to play defense, obviously.
Is Draymond going to be this successful if he's drafted, to the Pelicans? Not with. We didn't even get into that. How well he fits in this system where it's like you're just finding the open guy. Clay and Steph have bought into this Warrior system so perfectly. How many superstars are willing to set so many off-ball screens and run all over the perimeter? Like, if you look at the Lakers offense where it's kind of just, ISO one-on-one, LeBron, AD, your turn. Man, Draymond just fell into the perfect scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the fact that realistically, you can say that like if Draymond didn't again be drafted into the perfect scenario, he's the equivalent of somebody like I don't know Mason Plumlee. Like he's like Mason, like something like that. You
That's
know what I
such a
mean?
good
Where it's
that's such a good comparison. Like, just like a guy that's like, he's just a solid player. Like, he does
like
everything.
yeah, he's known,
But
but he's gonna be traveling around the league. He's gonna pretty much just go
yeah.
to any team that might need him or might be willing to pay him the most money. Like he's not gonna be there in a consistent manner, and he's not gonna be really proving stats that. Actually, I'll say this. I like this comparison better. He'd be a Jay Crowder of the league. You know what I mean? Because like you look at Jay Crowder right now, he's Jay
I like
Crowder's.
that. I like that comparison actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say draft. Like he's known. Like people know who he is. People
And
recognize
he's like
that.
always going to a contending team that wants him. Like, whether it's the Heat, the Celtics, the Suns most recently. And I'm sure like he'll the Jazz even. Like, just he's such a good fit for a playoff team.
Exactly, but at the same time, he's not going to be a guy that is so important on that team that they have to keep him on. You know what I mean? But obviously, at the same time, when you're talking about a Warriors team that has purposely kept that team because they know that's how the chemistry of that team is the best chemistry in the league, and there's no need to change that. He lucked out so much by getting drafted by that Warriors team and being able to stay on that team because realistically, as you mentioned, you've seen that players have come and gone through that team, but Draymond knows that it's always been uh, Curry, Thompson, and himself. If there's anybody else that comes through that team, like he's acting like you're lucky to be here. Like we're still the top dogs here. Like you have absolutely, we could do anything without you, and we're still winning championships, which is true. But at the same time, it doesn't promote really that good of a culture as well. So, yeah, I agree with the statement. I feel that if it wasn't for Thompson and Clay or Steph Curry, he's I don't obviously not nobody. He's still going to be good, but he's just not going to be that important of a player in the league.
Do you think that he's a Hall of Famer? You think he's gonna get into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think you have. I mean, you have to just based off his defensive stats, the fact that he has 4 rings, the fact that he was on one of the best dynasties of all time in NBA history. I think you have to put him in the Hall of Fame. But I think if it was another situation, like you said, where he didn't luck out by getting drafted by the Warriors and he ended up going pretty much just becoming a journeyman in the NBA, then we're having a different conversation because I feel like he could be one of the best defensive players in the league, but if he's overlooked because he's not winning championships and he's just moving around, people are going to very easily. I mean, shoot, people forget about Jay Crowder right now, and he played last season. I mean, he was in the finals 2 seasons and 3 seasons ago. So it's like if you're looking at it from that perspective, I don't think Jay Crowder's a Hall of Famer. So I think the only reason why Draymond's a Hall of Famer right
No,
now is
yeah.
just because he's with the Warriors. So that's the way I feel about it. With that being said, I don't know. I feel like he he's crafted or he's perfected his craft well enough that it matters. But at the same time, it's only because of the team that he's on has relevance.
No, yeah, 100% agree with you. And what else? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. That's all I got to say as well. I mean, we'll have to see how things play out in the future. But at the end of the day, maybe Draymond will find a little more success in his podcasting because I think that's going to be good for him. You doing good there?
Hey, drop my phone. I'm looking at the Lakers box schedule. Okay, do we have time to sneak the Lakers in here?
I'll let you. Okay, I'll give you a minute to ramble about the Lakers.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Hey, this team
Oh wait, hold
finally
up. Wait,
found a
let me
lineup.
start a timer real quick.
Okay.
We're actually gonna time you here. All right, go.
Okay. Back-to-back wins. Nuggets. Kate, I called you. I told you that they were going to beat the Pelicans. They do it in double overtime. I know they lost to the Jazz, but I think they finally found a lineup with Matt Ryan. Last week, you were clowning on me just because I called Austin Reeves and Matt Ryan Kevin Love. You remember that comparison?
Yeah.
Well, look what Matt Ryan did Wednesday night. Hits the 3 and then somehow gets benched. I don't know what Darvin Ham was doing there, but I think they finally found a lineup. I know they look bad against the Jazz, but hey, this Jazz team's 8-3 or 8-3. I think that team is rolling. The Cavs. I know they lost to the Cavs. It didn't look good, but like I said, they found a lineup. Patrick Beverly out, and what happens tonight, or earlier today? The Cavs, the backcourt just got torched of the Lakers. Like no Pat Beverly. Kendrick Nunn was starting, did not work out at all. Garland dropped 24 and Mitchell got 33. No one could.
All right, you're
stop
good.
it. Okay, I'm done. I got a lot in there. Okay.
I'll say, yeah, you surprised me with how much you got in there. All right, let's hit fit of the week, Danny. You're 0-2 for the first time, or I guess for the first time ever, considering that last season you didn't start off 0-2. So we'll have to see if you're able to bounce back this week.
Hey, you started off 0-2. Kate, have we decided the punishment? Maybe once I learn what the punishment is, I'll be more locked in to pick more fire pits for fit of the week. Also, I will say this. Hold on. In my defense, I did say you were going to win last week. I said I was ready to give it up.
Yeah, you did give me that one. I mean, even though we did post it, you did give me that one. So that's true. You did admit to that. But yeah, no, we'll play it out. I'm trying to ride as high as I can at 2-0 because I don't know how long this is going to last. So, Danny, I'll let you start off with your fit of the week. Who you got?
Okay. Kate, I pulled up a Sharif O'Neal. On the Lakers practice squad. Maybe we could use him. I don't know. I don't actually. Never mind. He was kind of a bum at UCLA and at LSU, but he's coming out with some fire fits. Do you remember what movie this is from? Like the cartoon. He's rocking like a cartoon.
Yeah, Monster
animated.
House.
Monster House. That was such a good movie. That brought me back as a kid. It's on. This is spooky, scary hours. Oh, okay. Monster House. You saw that movie as a kid, I'm sure, huh?
Dude, I hated that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
What? Well, you were scared as a kid or what?
No, it wasn't even that I was scared. I just thought it was a weird movie in general. Like, I don't know what it is. It may have just been the animation, you know what I mean? Because I'll say this too, like Polar Express, love the movie. The animation is the weirdest animation I've seen. So that's why I'm kind of like hesitant to watch it. Same thing with honestly.
There was some funny characters in that movie, like the chubby
the chubby
white kid
with
the blonde hair. Yeah, that kid was hilarious.
No, I'll give you that one. I mean, there's been some good like things that have come out of that movie. But yeah, like weirdly for me, any movie with weird animation, I'm just not like this movie, Polar Express, Nightmare on
Wait, you don't like the Polar Express?
No, I do like it. I was gonna say I love the Polar Express, but the animation is just weird to me. I can't get behind that. Nightmare Before Christmas. That's another one that's like animation kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, the animation threw me off on that one. That's one of my hot takes as well, Kate. I agree with that one.
Yeah, so I'm like, people love the Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't get the hype around it.
I agree. You sound like you're a little overhating though. But what about the movie Up?
Up is Pixar. Pixar is fine.
Oh, okay. Pixar's fine. Okay.
Yeah, Pixar's
one
chill.
Of these animated things.
It's because here's the thing. I feel like
What's the word? What's the right word?
I don't know. I mean, are you like claymation? Because I don't think that's claymation though.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Why do you not like this?
Dude, it's just I don't know. It was just a weird feel. I don't know. It was just weird. I'll leave it at this. Like the big time like movie productions, they put together good animations, but like stuff like this is just weird to me. I don't know why. I just can't get behind it. I can't watch it. I just don't enjoy it as much. But going back to fit of the week, okay, you got Sharif O'Neal.
Yeah, Sharif O'Neal, he's rocking this crazy Monster House. Good memory on the movie, by the way. I just think that hoodie's like that hoodie's insane. And then to have the Travis fours on feet, he's got the Louis bag. It just looked like a cool fit.
Yeah, no, I also like the pants there too. I think they work well with the Travis 4. So I think that's a good look. Me, I just sent it over to you. I got Jason Tatum. So I'm a big fan of I like the vests. I feel like especially around fall time, like right when you're getting up to Thanksgiving and whatnot, I think the vests are a great way to look. So you got him rocking the orange vest, the hunting orange, you know what I mean? That type of vest, long sleeve underneath. Looks like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call them jeans just because they look more like cargo pants, but like you got the almost like cargo jeans and whatnot. Good look, and then just some Vans. It's a simple fit, but I think the thing that makes it so good is just the fit in general. Like, not like the outfit. I mean, like the way it fits on his body. That's what I mean. So I think I like it, and of course you got some sponsor money going to Gatorade right there as well. So, God, I wasn't too set on one this week. I feel like I just didn't see anything that really blew my mind, but I like this one. I think this is the best one, especially with the contrast of colors and whatnot. So, easy take for
No,
me.
I
But
agree. I like what you said. I don't have vests, but yeah, you could definitely do a lot with a vest. So that might be one of my next pickups at the thrift if I can find one. I feel like that's something you can pick up pretty easily. I like just a Goodwill on for real.
yeah, it's true. But yeah, no, all right. As usual, Instagram, Twitter, we'll have those polls up shortly. I've been doing my best to get them out as quick as possible, but
What's the
I mean,
consequence?
God, we still got to figure that out. I hate having to say it, but we'll keep figuring this out. But I'm trying to think of something. I don't know what there is because we did the trash Goodwill fit last year. Shoot, what are we gonna do? What can we do? Hey, how about this? We'll leave it up to the fans. Or whatever fans that might be still listening at this point. I don't know how many stuck around for the whole Kyrie Irving stuff for
Yeah,
a long time. But
now they checked out when we started ranting about Kyrie for that long.
yeah, exactly. But hey, maybe if we get some good fan interaction and whatnot, they suggest something good. We'll let them figure out exactly what we want to talk or what we can do for the punishment for the season. But I'll say we'll get something together pretty soon. We'll throw out a tweet. Something. We'll do something to get some punishment going. But yeah, make sure Instagram, Twitter, we'll get those graphics up soon. Vote on that. Help me get to 3-0. I mean, I feel like it might be a 3-0 start for me this season. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have those up shortly. So make sure you vote on that one. Danny, I'll let you kind of take over with this segment because I feel like you might know a little bit more than I do. But for a keeper sweep for some of the fall fashion coming up, I mean, you were talking about some good collaborations coming up. Obviously, some designer companies they're coming out with some really nice stuff over the next few weeks, especially for fall. I mean, Danny, I don't know if you felt the same way, but when it started cooling down out here, I was so ready to get the fall fits going. Like I was excited about it. Got me thinking
Dude,
about how I needed to go back out to like thrift and get some good stuff. I was ready for it.
Dude, I already got a thrift list, bro. Like, I'm so happy that we're finally wearing hoodies now. And like, I know you're not a flannel guy, but like, I wore a flannel already like twice in just like the last week, just because I haven't worn them in forever. And I'm pretty much wearing a hoodie every day. It's amazing. I love this weather.
Dude, it's fantastic. I love fall fits. I mean, I feel like especially in Phoenix, like for how hot it gets and like how you're able to just kind of rock a t-shirt and shorts so long throughout the summer, like you get old of the like those fits get old and whatnot. They don't have that same like style they did at the beginning of the like spring and summertime. So to finally get back into the fall like swing of things, to wear pants and know that I can actually style those well, like without being overheated, I'm so ready for it. But yeah, Danny, I'll let you start off with this one just because, again, like I said, I think you have a little bit better of an understanding of what we're going through. But Danny, let's run through some keeper swoop now. Let's see what good fall fashion there is for the people to look out for this upcoming season.
Okay, we'll start with Supreme. Supreme kind of died out, but Supreme, the recent collaboration with the Dickies fall 2022 collaboration. The past 2 years, Kate, I feel like workwear has completely blown up. Like this has been the biggest trend, just because maybe thrifting has also blown up, and you can kind of find like your Carhartts, your Dickies, at Goodwill, really in the thrift, and it's a good look. Like it goes well with sneakers. So for Supreme to collab with Dickies, they dropped some corduroy denim jackets. Corduroy hasn't been around, but I feel like this could be a trend because I really haven't seen corduroy in a while. Like I know Tyler the Creator kind of had it popping off for a while. Like I want to say early 2010s maybe. I definitely see corduroy coming back. The thing about corduroy in the past, I saw it on the pants. I never really saw it on the jacket too much.
Yeah, I agree. I think corduroy slept on so much. I think that might be an early prediction for what like could be one of the biggest fashion trends of next year is just, or at least in the winter and fall and whatnot, is just bringing corduroy back. You know what I mean? Like as you mentioned, you've seen the pants, and I was actually pretty close to getting a pair of corduroy pants if they weren't too short on me lengthwise. But I think it's such a good look. I mean, especially when you're talking like work fit. You know what I mean? Like it looks good, especially in this situation with the Dickies Supreme collaboration. I mean, I'm looking at these pics, and I mean, you look at that; it has like that vintage nostalgic feel, but at the same time, it just looks so clean. It looks so well put together. It looks like that's really a statement piece, but it's one of those toned down statement pieces that you can almost rock with any fit, and it'd still look good. So,
And I'll
here's the
hop in
thing.
real quick.
Yeah,
Something else you're talking about, like how it's like a staple. It's weird because it's a staple because it like the Dickies labeling is more than the Supreme. Like I feel like Supreme didn't really go all out and slap Supreme their name or a BOGO everywhere they could. Like this looks like a Dickies workwear drop that looks really clean, like you said.
Yeah, and over, I mean, I'm looking at everything that they're releasing over these, like, for this collaboration, and I mean, like, they've got like it is
The
genuinely
jackets,
some heat.
the
Like it,
denim, the white and the brown jackets, denim jackets, like or workwear jackets, construction. It looks like it's a real construction jacket, and instead of like the embroidered name, it says Supreme. It looks like that person's name. Like that. That's pretty fire.
oh, hold up, they got overalls, like corduroy
Yeah.
overalls, dude. Those are clean. Oh my god, I might. I'll say because here's my thing. I've been looking for a pair of overalls, and I've been kind of like just opting out to think maybe okay, we'll just go with like a pair of Carhartt overalls and whatnot. But like
Hmm.
some corduroy overalls, like those brown or even the white corduroy overalls, like oh my, those are nice. I might have to see if
Yeah.
I can get my hands on some of these. I mean, they've got hats. They even got like sweaters that have just the big Dickies logo over, and like it's a nice
Seen that.
looking
That looks
pair.
really clean.
Yeah, no, and they got like a long sleeve shirt that have like the I don't know how to describe it, but like the Dick. Oh, that's just this is a great collaboration, especially as you mentioned it, because I feel like Supreme is like known for just putting their brand all over the place, whereas here they're keeping a little bit more toned down low a little bit, but they're putting that emphasis on Dickies, but it just looks so clean. So I think we both know this is going to be a keep for both of us, and this actually might
This
be
is
one that I'm gonna like do what I can to try getting up earlier, do whatever I have to do to make sure that I hit on these early.
Hey, Kate, also keep in the back of your mind, end of the year coming up, we're gonna have like an award show, best like fashion drop of the year. This might be in contention for drop of the year.
Oh, 100. I agree 100%. I mean, this is yeah, this is easily like, or at least one of the best collaborations without a doubt. Because I feel like this year we haven't seen too many like big collaborate, and I could be
Hmm.
missing out on some. I mean, you've seen some of the AMA drops and whatnot with Nike. Um, I feel like that's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, I mean, some of the trophy room collaborations. There's that.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll have to see. But all right,
we'll have
Danny,
to get
what?
back on that video, but yeah, this is both 10 out of 10 easy keep, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. All right,
Okay.
Danny, what's next?
Next up, we'll move up to Cactus Flea Market. We've seen some fire collaborations with Cactus Flea Market, with especially with Nike. You remember those Vapor Maxes that dropped, like the gray upper with like it looked like a 3D sneaker, really cool. And then they also had the Flea Market Air Forces. It said Air on the side. I think just white and black pair. Maybe they dropped the blue pair, but those are also some really clean sneakers. So they're and then they also collabed with Kanye. You know how far those hoodies look with Ye.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
now
yeah.
Nike again. Uh, Mostly like varsity. I don't know. Did you find the drop? What I want to get your opinion in is the shoes that dropped in this collab. Look up the Cactus Flea Market Flea One Overgrown. Okay, I can't tell if it's a real shoe, but it's reselling on Goat and StockX for a couple thou.
Oh no, I've seen these before. Okay, yeah, because they've been talking about these for a little while now. Um, is it? Let me pull it up real quick. Is it? It's these, right? If I can, let me
Yeah,
go this way.
no,
Oh my
no,
god,
no, oh, no, 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 no. Send me the link on those. I'll send you. Talk about those shoes, and
is
I'll
it
send you what I'm
these?
looking at.
They're like actual like
Yeah,
glass ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh geez, I don't know. Like they look like the
It looked like
Grinch.
they just grabbed a bunch of moss and slapped it on a shoe. There's no way this is a real shoe. This can't be a real shoe. I can't find an article saying if this is an actual drop or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say this looks like it's a prop from the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. I mean, it literally looks like what he wore on set.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And if this is what a couple years ago, Balenciaga was dropping like those shoes, like the homeless shoes, where it's
Mhm.
like and people are like, "Yo, what are we doing with shoes at this point?" I feel like this is in that category of that bad.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at those, they're bad.
If this is real, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm finding art.
they're oh
If it's
yeah, they
reselling on
literally
StockX, then it's real, right? Because I'm finding articles saying that it's not going to drop, but at the same time, like they posted it on their Instagram.
it might not drop, to the like it might not be a public release drop. That's something that like everybody in the public's but gonna know. It's might be one of those
Mm.
things where like they kind of like say when it's gonna release internally, and they just kind of have to like go from word. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's how it was for. Do you remember when they did the Swarovski uh diamond dunks?
Yep.
I feel like that's how it was, except there's obviously just way more hype around that because I mean, you saw those dunks. I'm not gonna lie, those were probably some of the cleanest dunks I've seen overall. Like I was 100% trying to get my hands on a pair of those,
The
but
bedazzled ones.
yeah, those were
Hmm.
nice.
Oh, those
But
were beautiful. Like, yeah.
yeah, those were nice. But I feel like yeah, it's I feel like just in general, I mean, this is a tough one to rock. I feel like Cactus Plant Flea Market, they're obviously known for having going really far out of the way with their like artistic design and whatnot. I mean, we saw the collaboration they had with McDonald's pretty recently, and it's overall, it's a good look. I mean, they put together some good stuff, but this is not one of those good things that they put together.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the clothing pieces aren't too bad, but yeah, overall, I'm going with a not just because based on that shoe, I'm going. Yeah, it has to be a not for me.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, no, I like their clothing pieces. I mean, I if they weren't so pricey, like just for retail, I definitely think about hopping on that. But they make their stuff expensive, so I'm not sure if I'd be able to hop on like that. But
No, I agree. Next up,
it,
I'm guessing that's a not from you. You said not, right, Cade?
yeah, I'm gonna go with a sweep for me.
Okay. So it is winter time, a perfect time for another North Face drop. North Face. This is the best time of the year to pull out the puffers. The puffers were huge last year with Kanye dropping releases. North Face and Supreme had a fire release last winter with the puffers that they dropped and their jackets. Now they're going collaborating. Sorry, with Cause Kate. I'm not sure if you're the biggest Cause guy, from what I remember. Um, uh, and going back on memory lane, I feel like you weren't the biggest Cause guy.
So, it's hit or miss for me because I think Cause had the potential to be one of those really big artistic brands that were able to collaborate with companies like Jordan, Nike, all of that. I mean, we saw the Cause fours that released, and they're still one of the most like highly sought after fours. They were a fantastic pair. But I mean, you saw some of the things that they're doing with Uniqlo and whatnot, and I was like, you could tell they were very obviously trying to reach a brand of people that were like a little bit more like price affordable. You know what I mean? For still getting something that's like cool and out there and different, but at the same time, feel like they kind of pushed that collaboration a little too hard. There's a lot of stuff that came out of that that really wasn't that fantastic. I just wasn't a huge fan of that, especially considering they're trying to push really hard for the graphic tee instead of trying to like maybe get a little bit more creative with it and trying to put a little more artistic value behind what they were doing. So, not I wasn't necessarily a fan of that. Looking at this though, I think they kind of take a step back and go back to when they were making those collaborations with Jordan, especially with the Cause Fours, because you look at the way that I mean, it's simplicity with this, but the thing that makes it so nice is that simplicity, but they still make their mark known. I mean, you have the Cause logo right on the other side of the North Face logo. The puffer being the big statement piece here, just because you have that design to it that looks. I mean, it's subtle, but it's also super nice in the way that it looks, and you'd be able to style it with a lot, but also make it look unique and different and interesting for any fit that you put together. So yeah, I definitely like that. Some of the other stuff that they have out there, I mean, you have like a fleece, full zip up, you have a hoodie. Um, those are kind of basic just because I feel like there's really not much that goes into it other than the fact that again you're putting the Cause logo. Or actually I take that back. You can see a little bit more design with it now since I'm scrolling through. The hoodie and the sweater, the just crew neck, not a huge fan of. The full zip, you have that same design on it. I really like that a lot. So if you're going for the puff or the full zip fleece jacket, 100% worth it. Other than that, not a huge fan. So I'd say what 50% keep, 50% sweet.
Okay, I feel that. So you're like rated 5 out of 10, pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty much. Just because I
But
mean you
that still
have
counts.
those.
I would say that counts as a miss.
Okay, I mean if that's how you feel, then yeah, like I understand that. But for me, I just feel that. I mean, again, the puffer, the fleece looks really good. The hoodie, the crew neck, the just t-shirts. You can tell they're just that's more so like here's for the people who wanted the collaboration but don't have the money to spend it on the big time pieces, but they still want to be like felt like part of the collab. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I feel you on that. I think I'm gonna go hit though. What you didn't talk too much about the puffers is they look like a plain puffer, but they kind of give me like camo vibes. Like they kind of, I don't
Mhm.
know if it is a camo design, but I was just watching the movie Jason Bourne with Jeremy Renner, Kate, like a couple of nights ago. Hey, I'm gonna be feeling like a Jason Bourne up in the snow with a sniper if I'm rocking this puffer. I think it's pretty fire. Like I like how clean it is. And you can tell it's like streetwear, like just the X's on cause. I think on the sides of the puffers and the like the polyester jackets gives it that little streetwear touch that it's subtle and obviously there's a North Face patch where that always is, but I'm gonna go with keep on these. And I really think the fleece, the zip up fleece, like the turtleneck one, I think that kind of carries the drop also. Like I really like the color blocking with the cream and black. It kind of gives me like that, I don't know, snowboard vibes. I'm not
Mhm.
a snowboarder at all, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna go keep it with this one.
No, I don't blame you. I think there's a lot of really good stuff too. I think it's a good look, and again, it hits that streetwear vibe really well. I guess the thing with me is that when it comes to the hoodies, the crew neck, t-shirts, all that, I guess it's just a matter of how it fits. You know what I mean? Because like with off white, if you go with like your size, it's going to be oversized, but it looks good that way. So I feel like if it's that same like concept for North Face, which I don't know if it will be, since it's probably going to be produced by North Face. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I have high hopes for that. It could be a pretty good drop. Danny, you want to get one more?
Yeah, we got one more if we have time. Okay, we're good because we can touch on the next one: Cactus Flea Market and McDonald's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey,
Let's. Hey, Danny, did you go and get the meal that they had at McDonald's for that?
the adult meal.
Yeah.
No, I never did, but I know it was just like a 10-piece, and then and like a Big Mac, right, and fries.
So,
Like
yeah, I
you
was
could
gonna say
just
it was
order it
literally
all
just
separately.
like it's pretty much just any meal except you got a Cactus Plant Flea Market toy with it. I'll admit,
Hey,
I
did you?
100% bought in.
Oh, you did.
I did. And I'll
Okay,
be right
that's
back.
funny.
I'll show you what I got with it.
Oh, I didn't know something came with it.
Oh yeah, it comes with a little fucking little toy. But see, look at this.
Wait,
It's gonna
that's
come out
actually
at some
sick.
point.
That came in the
That's
that
what.
came in the box,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so worth it.
dude. What? I'm so mad I didn't go. I didn't see that.
I know you missed out. Hey, I was gonna say, and it was so like those things sold out quick too because I got on like maybe the first day that they dropped it, and then after that, nothing. Like
Man,
I was not able to get my hands on
what's the
another one,
resale
but
like on that? I'm gonna look that up actually right now. Do you know?
it's not expensive. It's probably like $20 or something like that, and that's probably
Oh,
with an
okay.
unopened
Okay.
package and whatnot. But like, still, dude, like that's like to get that, that's pretty sick.
No, that's pretty sick. I'm kind of mad I missed out on that. That's something I really would want. I got like a little stand full of my collectibles. I definitely would have put that up there.
Oh,
um,
100%. Yeah, lowest ask for this is 20.
okay, yeah.
Which
You're
is
looking
yeah,
on
that's not
eBay, I'm
terrible
guessing.
though. Wait,
On
what?
eBay? Are you on
No, this
eBay?
is StockX.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So yeah, hey, McDonald's. And this isn't the first time they collabed. You remember a couple years ago, Travis Scott McDonald's kind of blew up. People were stealing posters on uh, on like McDonald's restaurants to get the Travis Scott McDonald's
Oh
posters.
yeah.
I didn't really like that drop too much, but it still brought a bunch of hype.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That Travis Scott one was big. I remember they did the Jay Blavin one trying to find that same success. They weren't able to, at least I didn't think they were able to. And then now it like kind of led to that transition of all these different fast food joints trying to uh like a collab with different artists. I mean, you saw KFC and Jack Harlow and whatnot, like stuff like that. Like
That
so
was
many
such
of
a
them were trying to collab.
KFC and Crocs. That was such another bad drop
Yeah,
we've touched
exactly.
on in the
Like
past.
all over the place. So yeah, no, I wasn't. I mean, Travis Scott and McDonald's set that tone for it. Shoot. But the one thing that makes these fun though is that like for example like Travis Scott or in this case Cactus Plant Flea Market like they release products on their own site based off like that collaboration. So like I remember I got a pair of shorts from that McDonald's Travis Scott release. I mean obviously I got this but like you have a whole collection of stuff on their website from when they released with McDonald's. So I'm assuming that's what you're trying to touch on right now was the like actual clothing that came out of that.
Yeah, we can touch on the clothing, but I just wanted to touch on that stuff. That should that oh, that stuff was it was really fun. Um, and you might have to do some cleaning up on the live recording, Kate. My bad, but
Hey, I was gonna say,
no, because I remember the Reese's peanut butter cup and Travis Scott drop was also
oh,
another drop that it kind of flopped, but in terms of like resale value, because I remember people were buying warehouses of Travis Scott boxes, Reese's, and like resale ended up just being like $50, and now it's like $20, which it's still expensive for a piece of cardboard, but it's not what it was originally like supposed to
no,
be.
exact. Hey, but even then, I mean, what Reese's Puffs and Cause had a collaboration too. I mean, like, Dave, we can probably make an entire like segment just about like the different collaborations with food companies out there because there are
Yeah,
so many.
that would be
Like,
a fun show. Like,
I'll
maybe
say,
we might have to bring back 94 Feet Extended. I feel like that would be a fun topic.
no, I know I was gonna say that might be something we have to get into, but yeah, I mean,
Okay,
in
let's get
general,
into the
just
clothing now, or do you want to keep talking about that?
no, I was gonna say, yeah, that's clothing. I was gonna say clothing
Okay, sorry.
again, Cactus Plant Flea Market. You can't miss with it. I mean, it's gonna look good, but at the same time, I don't know how I feel about rocking a shirt that's like oriented with like towards McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Hey, I will say that, at least I don't know if what I'm gonna say is gonna get like me canceled or if it's okay to say, but like if I'm a bigger dude, Kate, I don't know if I'm rocking like the McDonald's, the bright red McDonald's shirt. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like it's a little like it again. Like it looks good, but like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to rock something like that. You know what I mean? Like it like
Yeah, no. Hey, I will say this though. Out of the 8 pieces of clothing that released, I would say 6 out of 8 are fire. I would rock the Big Mac. I think that's a fire hoodie. Nah, you don't like that?
I it's cool, but like okay, here's another bad one. Like I saw I dipped McNuggets. Like that's so dumb. But at the same time, they do have some good stuff there. I'll give you that one.
Okay, I would say I would actually I kind of like the sauce one. The ones that I don't like is the bright red and yellow. Like the
Wait, hold
jogger
up. Say that
sweatpant
one more
combo.
time. You're
That's the
cutting
only
out
one
there.
that's like a miss for me.
Wait, which two you were cutting out there?
Am I good? I'm cutting the one that I don't like is the red McDonald's crew neck and sweatpant combo things.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what was the other one? Hey, wait, hold up. Say that last one more time.
Is my Wi-Fi bugging right now?
A little bit, yeah. But what was that last one? You say the red one and then which one? Oh, your Wi-Fi is bugging bad right now.
I can't stand those.
I was gonna say that might be our cue to end this show right there. Danny, real quick, is this a keeper suite for you? Just that whole line. Oh, we're not even getting an answer here. Dang it. Okay, okay. We're just gonna say we gonna treat it like we don't know what you said. I'm gonna say okay. Hold up. You texting me this right now. You saying it's a keep? Okay, I respect that. I think there's some good parts of it. Um, I'll go keep. I think it's a decent collaboration. I don't think it's that bad. But that'll wrap up for tonight's show. Everybody, we thank you for joining us. So,
The
my
key for
God, I can't
sure.
even.
Sorry about
No,
this.
no,
I'm
you're
dying
good.
to.
We thank you guys for joining us again. I mean, again, a bit of a crazy, different show and whatnot, but at least this time we didn't have any technical difficulties. Still swore a little bit. That's okay. I feel like we're just kind of loosened up, just kind of hanging out, doing our own thing. We hope you guys have a fantastic week. Make sure you, if you didn't listen to it now, make sure that you obviously listen to us tomorrow on Blaze, 10 to 11, pretty much at the same time slot, just tomorrow, just a replay of this show. So catch us there. Again, we thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Of course, as always, we'll see you next week.